man has played in more games for the Chicago Blackhawks or scored more points for the Blackhawks than Stan Mikita, and that applies to both regular season games and the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Mikita flies it off the board. Now the board, low return pass to Mikita. A score! Stan Mikita! Stan Mikita scoring the 1,400th point of his brilliant hockey career. He is only the third man in history to reach that plateau.
Every time I walk in here, I think of my first goal and I think of my 500th goal. And all those in between, I can't remember. I can't remember points. You mentioned earlier about my 1,400th point. I have no idea when that was scored, but I do think of the first and the 500th.
Mikita, a good score! And Mikita being mobbed by his teammates. That's number 500.
Mikita was the first Blackhawk to have his number retired and the leading scorer in the playoffs when the Blackhawks won their last Stanley Cup. His success came about the old-fashioned way. As a young boy, he skated on a frozen pond in Czechoslovakia with a pair of screw-on skates and a tree branch for a hockey stick. He was 8 when he moved in with an aunt and uncle in Canada and didn't know a word of English. He never saw a professional hockey game until he played in one.
I'm satisfied with myself that, yeah, I think every time I went out there, I gave it my best. And, you know, sometimes your best isn't good enough, but that I'm very satisfied with what I've accomplished, at least trying it.
Growing up in Canada, it's remarkable how closely your career paralleled Bobby Hull's. You went to high school together.
We met as, I guess I was 15 years old, on the football field, of all things. We both played varsity football, and we became friends from that day on, and have been friends since then and still are, thank God.
Played in Junior A, played up here together.
Right.
He won the MVP in 65, 66. You won it in 67, 68.
Well, we had a rivalry, but it was a friendly rivalry. You know, there were some news stories coming out of the Canadian cities, especially Toronto and Montreal, that we were feuding and we didn't like each other and so on. But that was a lot of bull. We have been friends and are still friends, and we were friends when we played together.
I suppose some people might have gotten that impression because Bobby was a little more outgoing than you were. He attracted the media. You were off kind of the side. It was sort of like a Jordan Pippen thing, wasn't it?
Well, I think Michael and Scotty probably make a few dollars more than we did, but kind of, yes. And I didn't mind playing second fiddle to a guy like Bobby Hull, if indeed I was second fiddle. I never felt I was, but you know, it's you guys that kind of made it that way. But that's all right. He was probably the most exciting player that ever skated on this ice.
What's too bad is that Bobby's son, Brett, couldn't have followed in his father's footsteps. Brett is the youngest of Bobby's 4 sons, and probably the most unlikely to succeed him to stardom.
I remember Bobby bringing the boys here, and as a matter of fact, I used to, Bobby was always running late for practices, and I came out here early a few times, and the boys were sitting in the seats crying because there was nobody to put their skates on. And I remember tying up both Bobby's and Blake's, and Brett said no, he didn't want to skate. He just walked around the stadium, talked to the guys, sweeping up the place, and had a hell of a time.
The stadium's days are numbered, but the memories will endure, just like Stan Mikita.
We'll miss this place, I know. I don't know if they're going to tear it down or what they're going to do with it, but there's a lot of memories here for people who have been coming here for a long time. The people that are brand new, the younger kids that are coming in here now, they look at it, you know, they say it's an old barn. Well, it is, but boy, there's an awful lot of memories in this place.
And Stan Mikita will live forever in hockey's Hall of Fame. Of course, he now resides in the Chicago area, probably always will. You'll see him now and then around Chicago Stadium.